Hi, welcome to my live. So today we're doing character makeup and we're going to end up with this gorgeous silver wig and we're going to try out some new magnetic lashes. So without further ado, let's jump into this. So I'm going to start by showing you how I tame these little crazy hairs because they're going to drive me crazy and I can't really tuck them up under my wig cap without doing a little something to them. So I'm using my brow wax by iMethod Beauty and it's clear, and this one is really stiff brow wax. So I love it and I just put it in there, just kind of work some through. This is like the hair gel on crack. Like, it's great. And then once I get it in there, it'll pretty much stay for a long time. And then all those little wispies don't drive you crazy. So this is really helpful too if you get all those little baby hairs around your face line and you just want them to stay put. This is so much better than using your hairspray. So again, just a little bit. Get everything coated, and then I give it a tuck up. Pull my ear through. I know that looks crazy. And then I use my little spoolie and just sort of comb everything where I want it to go. And part of this may come out because I wear glasses, and so I'm always on and off with the glasses. But for the most part, that's going to make me a lot happier than it would just sitting there with all that crazy hair out. All right, so that's the brow wax. That's my brow wax trick that I don't use on my brows. I don't have very much for brows, so brow wax doesn't do me a lot of good. I'm going to jump right into priming my face, and I'm going to do a character that's going to be my age-ish, and I'm just going to exaggerate some things. But most of the things that I'm going to do are going to actually be everyday makeup things that we do. So I'm going to start out with a primer. This one is a really inexpensive one. It is by Wet n Wild Glass Correct. It's got some green in it because I've been treating my face at home. I have a little bit of redness and I need to camouflage that. So I'm going to start with a little bit of green primer, and it's going to counteract or balance out what I'm seeing on my end. And this just goes over, your face cream. Just work it in. And it doesn't completely cover up all the red. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for kind of like a buffer between your skin and your makeup. And that is actually what is going to help fill in pores and fine lines, and it's also going to help with that redness. Now if you're on lunch or something, say hi. And I like to take my primer, and because I'm getting a little bit of this stuff, right? Like, we all get that stuff after a while. Even if you're really thin, you kind of get that little bit of weird wrinkly part, and I'm working on that. But another cool thing that I like to do with my primer, because a lot of them have a little bit of a blurring agent in them, is I like to go ahead and just apply primer to that area because it gives it a little bit of brightening, adds moisture, and just seems to make it look a little better. And then if you're putting on makeup, you always want to blend from down your jawline too, so it kind of makes you have a smooth canvas all the way down. So, and if I'm going out and I'm really doing up and I want to feel my most confident, then I'm definitely wearing primer on the back of my hands as well. I mean, primer is some fabulous stuff. And it seems to do a better job. You know how when you put lotion on your hands, like some lotions They look really good for a couple minutes, but then after you put them on, they don't look so great. So if you are going out, get a hot date or something, or whatever, you're just going out and you want to look good for you, try your primer on your hands. It lasts a lot longer and it looks gorgeous. Okay, now that I'm primed up on my hands and everything, I need a little bit of extra color correcting right around my lips. So I'm going to use my Pro Concealer. This is also, well, this is by LA Colors. The other one was by Wet n Wild. And I'm just going to use this around my lips. To color correct the redness there. Now the first one I put on is a little luminous, and the second one is a little more like a concealer consistency. So if you have to use that, if you don't like a luminous color, then this one is very inexpensive and it works really, really well. And I'll go ahead and hit my nose too. I don't do this every day, but when I want a full coverage look, my nose is fairly red. So I'll hit it with a little something extra. Hit it with the extra green. And I think these were like $5. I mean, they're so inexpensive. And I'll put the list for everything in the description when I'm done. I don't do it first because I typically come up with a basic idea of what I want to do for makeup, and then I make this pile in front of me, which you can't see, thank goodness. And then I vary it, so I never know completely everything I'm going to do. But I do have another wig that I might try, and I'll let you figure out which one you like better at the end. But this one is a really pretty blonde. They both look good on. I've worn them before. And then this one is a really pretty silver. This one is a little bit longer. It's got more curls, but they're both really cute. So keep that in mind if you're going to vote. And if you want to vote now because you can't stay, just say blonde or silver. Leave me a comment, and that way I'll know. And I might just do them both. We'll see. I love to do wigs. They're so much fun. And they sort of get me out of my comfort zone a little bit because they help you. I don't know, it's kind of funny. Wigs are great. They kind of help you. Maybe it's, I guess, if you haven't ever worn a wig, it's kind of like you become this other person that you never thought you could be. And so it does give you a little bit of confidence in a weird way, but it's not about the confidence. It's just about seeing some of your possibilities. Maybe we'll say it that way. Seeing the possibilities you can come up with for yourself. So, all right, so I'm going to dump all this here, drop things in there. And I may change earrings depending on what I'm doing. These are really, really long, but with that wig, you won't be able to see them, which is why I chose them. And I also have these giant puppy dog kind of shaped earrings as well. So we'll see about that toward the end. So say hi, let me know where you're watching from. I'm in North Alabama, and I've got a big mug of hot tea, because I'm a big hot tea drinker. Okay, now that I'm all primed, I'm going to go in with my CC cream, and this is just a CC cream in medium. I always put it on the back of my hand, usually, a little bit more today. Doesn't take much. It's a water-based product, and I'm going to use my brush here. I'm going to use this brush, and I'm just going to work that all through the brush, right? Just get it on there. It looks like I have some kind of extra thing there. Maybe that's growing. Okay, and then I'm just going to go in. Usually start in the middle of the face and then work my way outward. And I do sort of normally look a little weird as I'm doing things because like I don't put any makeup around my eyes until the very last because I don't want things to be too thick. And I can't see, so I'm over here with my mirror trying to make sure that everything looks good as I put it on. And I'll try not to get that in your eyes, to glare in your eyes. And I do have to be able to see, so hopefully that's not bad. All right, so that's looking really, really luminous. I may want to get rid of that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Go straight in with some of my sticks that I use for quick makeup application. I'm just going to spread that color. I've said this before that if you put a color on your cheeks that doesn't match anything else on your face, that you should spread a little bit maybe on your forehead, tip of your nose, someplace so that it looks like it's not out of place. And then these are by LA Colors. I have one in light pink as well. I'm just going to go over the top with that. Work it upward. And like I said, don't worry about the colors or anything. These are really inexpensive and they're so fast. And then, normally don't do a big contour like this, but since I'm doing the character, I'm going to chisel out some jaw here. This may look really horrendous for a minute. So. And then if you have a double chin and you want to take pictures without as much double chin, as long as you don't have a really large double chin, if you have a small double chin that's visible from the front, you can go straight back with your contour. Straight back, just right there. And then blend it out. And then when you take your pictures, it's going to look like you have it. So you got to give that a try. Alright, so these are going to the side. And I'm going to give that a little blend. Not much, because I'm all about the drama today. Blend it up. Blend it down. I actually kind of want to keep that in place so that when I'm doing my character, you can still see it. So on camera, it always looks different than it does in person. You would never do it this dark or this way in person. Not unless it was Halloween. I kind of want to keep that in place for now. And I may end up blending it out later, but for right now, I'm not. Bring that up a little bit. And then I'm just going to tap this in place. I'm filming on my iPad today, so you're going to have to leave me a comment and let me know how it looks. I have a lot of adjustments to make in my room. I had a meltdown the other day and literally ended up in tears because my setup is not perfect. It's so silly. It's so silly, but it's important to me. You know, I want everything to look good, and I used to be able to do everything on my phone, and I'm seeing that really you don't do that so much on YouTube, so it was much easier on my phone. I'm not sure why, but the lighting, the same lighting looks totally different on my phone as it does on my iPad. So you'll have to bear with me if you're following me, and hopefully I'll get these things straightened out here shortly. So now that that's kind of blended out, I'm going to sharpen it just a little bit. Actually, I think I'm going to blend that down a little bit. I'm actually having my mirror over here, and then I'm trying to use my iPad actually as a mirror as well, because I don't see very well up close. I'm going to sharpen this up with a little bit of concealer, right like that. just a little bit up here because I'm going to do that later. And so if you try this, if you try the sharpening up bit, just make sure that your lines are sort of parallel. Because if one line is going this way, or for example, if I wanted to give myself a really flat looking, like a level look here, and shape my cheekbone differently, so if I have a line going in this direction, and then up here I have a line going in this direction, it's going to look really confusing. But if you get the lines parallel, then it's going to look really neat and sleek. I'm just going to use a brush to mellow that out a little bit. And it's weird hearing my phone next to me. But I thought, well, you never know. My mother-in-law is 90. I'm not allowed to say how old my mom is because she might see this video. And so, even though she's really, really young, I thought, well, it might be a good idea to keep my phone just for emergencies, right? I'm going to go ahead and use that concealer to get rid of, well, not really get rid of, but I'm going to use it to give the illusion of getting rid of those a little bit. I would normally never use this with the big doe foot because it's so much, but like I said, today we're doing a little drama, so we can use more. Usually we just brighten up the center of the face. And I always tell people my looks come together at the last minute, so if you have to go, make sure you come back. Check it out later. It may look hideous at some point, or maybe all the way through. You never know. And so you have to have a little faith. I'm having faith in me. You can too. Okie dokie. I may as well highlight up here while I'm highlighting things in the center area of my face. I try to get through this part quickly because it takes more time to do, you know, your eyes. So, that's me anyway. I think my eyes are the most challenging thing. Eyes and lips, I think. Alright, that's going to work for right now. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do lips. I've got to bring my mirror up close and use my glasses too, probably. So, I am going to use this really inexpensive lip liner that I found at the dollar store. Let me see, where is it? And it's a LA Colors gel lip liner. And it said it was long lasting, and it really, really is. So it's not the right color, but that's okay because life is about making things work. So hopefully that's not in your eyes too badly. Ah, I'm too glowy. Now that I see myself up close, I'm like, whoa, no. Too glowy. Too glowy, everything's showing. So I'm going to go in with my It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. It's wonderful stuff, and it just kind of blurs out fine lines and wrinkles. It's not like the face powder that we had when we were kids, because that would be very, very drying. Like, I don't have any problems using this as long as I kind of avoid my under eye area. But it does do a beautiful blurring. And you can go right over all of your makeup. It helps blend things out too. Just gonna blend everything out. And this is looking a little better on my end now. And my air conditioner is kicked on. I apologize. But it's so hot out here. Alright. That'll do for now. That'll do for now. Final tweaking will be at the end. Let's turn this off. Off, off, off. Lord have mercy, that was hard enough. Alright, so the It Cosmetics. Oh, and my son. We homeschool. This is the Bye Bye Pores It Cosmetics. That stuff is wonderful stuff. It's a little bit pricey, but it's worth every penny, and it will last probably 10 years. There's so much in there, and you use such a tiny bit. So, all right, I forget where I was, but I'll remember here in a minute. Anyway, my son is homeschooled. Both of my kids were homeschooled because we thought we could do a better job than the school system. I mean, that's the honest to God truth. Anyway, but now I thought I was hearing thunder. It's my son playing his drum set. So he's had drum lessons for about 9 years. So he's quite good. Oh, lining the lips, that's where I was. All right. So this is a really, really soft product. So I noticed that when I go in, I have to be very, very careful about it. So I have to be very, very careful not to break it. I'm really loving it over here on YouTube though. Totally different than what I'm used to. But right off the bat, I feel like I've found like my people, you know? So that's awesome. Things don't get much better than that. And this is so creamy. I'm actually just going to use it all over my lip. And I like to come in, I like to go ahead and line my lips, following the normal line. And then I come slightly in. When I get here, come in instead of going all the way out to the corner, because with my, I can't tell if that's a mustache hair or cat hair. Anyway, with my lips, when I'm relaxing, I just look like I'm frowning. So I'm sitting there like, till everything goes down. So if I don't bring it out all the way to the corners, then I don't look like I have such a scowl. I may still have my scowl, but it's not as bad. And then the same thing here. I start on the inside, not all the way in the corner. And I'm actually going to overline because I'm doing the fun character. I'm going to just overline down here. But I overline at the bottom and not out here at the side. I'm going to go ahead and fill in right in this area where I am losing the most volume. Oh, and by the way, I've learned that you can use that Venus device that I'm testing out on your lips, around your lips, to get rid of wrinkles there. So I'm really excited about trying that. And as soon as I figure out, well, I've sent an email to the company, and as soon as I figure out the proper way to do it, then I'll share that with you. Because that is, you know, a huge complaint of most people when we get to be around my age and up. You know, we lose that We have wrinkles around our mouth from drinking out of straws our whole life, or smoking, or both in my case. And so, we have that loss of volume there, and then we have the wrinkles, and I think that's, our eyes and our lips, I believe, are what gets a lot of us. I mean, that's where we feel like the most self-conscious, I think, sometimes. It could be our neck, I don't know. We're full of problems. I don't put too much. And if you're not careful, it will kind of break off, so. But I wore this, I think I went to CVS and got it, and I wore this for like 8 hours one day. And all my lipstick was gone, but that lip liner was on. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's see if I can pull off this purple. I know that sounds silly. I don't think I can. I might just leave it like that. Don't want it to be too gross. Well, I'm gonna try to take a darker color and go over. We're gonna see how it works. Oh boy. Oh boy. Don't do this at home, children. Now I'm gonna have to fix it. Because that did not work. Have no fear. And I wish more people would play in their makeup and just make mistakes and then figure out how to fix them. And I just grabbed this palette that's got all these colors, and I grabbed that bright pink. Could have done that so much better, but it's done for now. It's done for now. All right, we're on to eyebrows. Actually, I may take a darker color. There's that really, really dark color on the end. I love it. I'm gonna try a little bit of that. Sometimes, in fact, a lot of times when we make mistakes in makeup or anything else, those end up being the best times. Because if you don't make a mistake and don't try something new, you're actually kind of boxing yourself in. So don't be afraid to have those hideous lip moments. Because at the end of the day, you can always just wash it off and do it again and do it better the next time. Golly, I'm just full of it today. Okay. Oh, my teeth finally look light. You know, I hate that I am such a tea and coffee drinker and it turns my teeth yellow no matter what I do. I'm like, oh, I need to live at the dentist office. Let's do some eyebrows. The Brow Trio sent me this kit the other day. It's a brow stamp kit with a pomade. I'm going to show you all the pieces and show you how this works if you haven't seen one. Now they send you with a bunch of these stencils, and I've already chosen the one I wanted. Then they send you this little tool. It's a sponge on one end, and then it's got a spoolie on the other. And then you also get the pomade. Now this is really, really soft pomade. But what's cool about this is if you don't have any brows like me, or you want to fill them in because they're sparse, that it's waterproof and smudge proof. So, and when you get that stuff on, like it's not coming off until you use makeup remover to remove it. So there's no like washing your face with water in the shower and that, you know, maybe that'll work. No. So, in fact, yesterday I had put some on the back of my hand, as I frequently will do to make sure I don't have too much going on my face. And what happened was I forgot to wash it off, and then I went into town with my mom, and all day I had this big brown splotch here because nothing was going to take it off. So I love that. I haven't tested it in the pool, but I'm fairly sure that it's going to work in the pool. And the only reason I say I'm fairly sure is because, you know, when we get out of the water, we tend to like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I use my hands to get the water out of my face. And so all that rubbing, you know, if you rubbed continuously, it might come off. But I do like to take a little bit on the back of my hand and just make sure that it's not going to be too dark before I stick it on my face. So I'm trying to get all of this in here just right for you and for me. And I'm going to line this up on top of my natural brow. But my brow doesn't come in all the way, so I've actually got to extend it a little bit. And then I usually start at the arch and then work my way around. And then I'm going to make this one a little bit darker. Oops, went the wrong direction there. Because I want these to show up really well with that wig on and everything. And then when you take it off, voila, you have an eyebrow. All right, that's easy enough. And then the tricky part sometimes is trying to get the other eyebrow just right. And when you can't see up close, it can be even more difficult. So make sure you're using a mirror like this where one side has the regular side and the other side is magnetic, not magnetic, Lord have mercy, magnifying. So we're going to go back with a magnifying side for me, and I'm going to try and make this one look like the other one. And I say try because I think everybody's eyebrows are slightly different. So I'm not too worried about it being perfect. I can always change it if I need to. Let's see if we got pretty close, pretty close. All right, close. And I'll fix the rest of that with a little bit of concealer, but I feel like it's not as dark as the other one in some areas, so I'm just going to realign it as best as I can. And then add more. You know, in real life, I would not make these this dark. I make them a little bit lighter. And then you want to put the lid on the pomade quickly and take a makeup wipe or a Kleenex and just wipe all that stuff off really quick before it dries. And then it all goes back in the little pouch it came in. Neat and tidy. If you have much for brows, you may want to comb through your brows. I don't have enough, and then I just stick it back in the little deal, and it's ready for next time. Zip it up. We're done. Okay. And I like to underline my brows with concealer. If I can just find my concealer brush, everything will be glorious. I guess I'm gonna use a big one. I have to use a big one. So again, with that big doe foot and too big of a brush, but I'm gonna make it work. Gotta make it work. And then I'm gonna have to do magnifying side because I can't see. And this is a little heavier than what I would do on a normal day. I try to tell you that, so if you've never seen me before, you know this is not my norm for the everyday. This is a fun character look. Some of the basic makeup application tips are the same as every day. It's just heavier. So I'm gonna see if I can do this over here, see if this is any better. And I like to underline the brow just to give it a little lift, and also to make it appear stronger. Bolder, more bold. Okay, so that's a little bit better. All right, let me move on all the junk over here on this side. All right, and then we're going to grab some eyeshadow primer. I'm using the one by Urban Decay. Just a little bit is all you need. I need to move that back, sorry. A little bit is all you need. And this will just soak up the oils on the lid and help your makeup stay on a little bit longer and a little bit better without creasing. And I just work it straight down into my lash line a little bit too. And I'm going to use a palette today, just an old Loreal palette that I have of nudes. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to start out with this color right here. Just going to load my brush up. Tap it on. It's going to go all over my lid. And then Since I have a hooded eye, I'm going to bring it up a little higher. And once I get it where I want, I'm going to do windshield wiper strokes. And I feel like I did not get that blended very well up here. Just didn't get it dry. All right. And I have this one eye, like this eye I can close for days, and this eye over here gives me trouble. I can't seem to close it. So I have to put makeup on in 2 different ways. It's looking similar. Check my light, I got a little bit. It's actually not as hot where I live today, thank goodness. I think it was going to be in the 80s, and I'm in North Alabama, so it's like a hot swamp here. Not as bad as Mississippi or Louisiana, but it's a hot swamp here. So humid. But we got some rain, so that was nice. I'm liking the way this looks. I'm just going to keep it really, really simple, I think, and use just maybe 2 colors here. And I like this color. I'm going to go ahead and use it as a little bit of a contour, just kind of bring it down. Just sort of swoop it down. Boy, my son is really in there tearing up the drums. And I'm going to get a smaller brush and take a little bit of that and go under my eyes. And I like to use eyeshadow under my eyes before I put any concealer or anything around my face. And that is one of the reasons that I like to do that. Is so that I don't get very, very cakey. And the other reason is so that I notice that sometimes I get these really funny textures under my eyes. And so if I use the powder, then it just glides over those little textures, and I didn't have to put concealer on and then the powder under. So whereas powders don't always work for our faces as we get older, for your eyes, sometimes they do. I'm just going along my lash line. To darken it just a little bit. And I'm doing drama today, so I'm going to actually sweep this in quite close to the... I'm just going to sweep it all the way in. Sweep this out. And I know it looks really wild right now, probably. Not wild, but probably looks a little weird on your end. It looks a little bit weird on my end, but when I get the wig on, it will look surprisingly normal. So, just gonna swoop that upward a little bit, a little lift. And then I don't worry about this being perfect right here because I'm going to clean that up at the very last minute and it's going to look gorgeous. So far this is all one color and I think it's really cool to just master a one color look. So simple. So simple. And then, you know, if you want to add a little something else, then you can. But not everybody has to do 47 different colors on their eyes. Sometimes it's pretty, sometimes it's not. I don't know how these shimmers are going to look, but I'm going to try it on my finger and my hand first because it may not. It's not very, I don't know. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to try to just put a little shimmer right here, right on that one little spot. So here goes. Oh, it's not bad. It's not super pigmented, but that's okay. Kind of putting it in there like a little slice of pizza, right? Just a little piece of pizza right there. Triangle form right there. See how it brightens everything up? And I really am not going to need another color. So the whole thing will be a 2-color look, and I dig that because I'm not great at this stuff. I'm not. Some people, you know, and part of that has to do with the quality of my skin. You know, if you have 16-year-old skin, it is so easy to get in there and be a Picasso. But 16 was a long time ago for me, 40 years almost. And I wouldn't trade with yesterday's Camille for any amount of money. Happy where I am, and I'll make do with my skin textures. And I'm going to go ahead and just highlight that whole area there. Just kind of get it in there where my concealer will eventually go. But I'm not going to take it too high because if I do, I'll start to highlight little wrinkles in my crepey eyelids. So I don't want to do that. But I think I'm pretty happy with this. Let me look at it close up for a minute. See what I got here. Yes, that'll do, that'll do. Get it even. Would be nice if it was even. Even-ish. Doesn't have to be perfectly even because my face is not perfectly even. And then I'm not going to blend it. It just gets patted in. Because if I blend it, it'll just end up everywhere. And since I have hooded eyes, everything I do is going to be hidden in there except for that little peekaboo part anyway. So no point in doing that. All right. We're going to go ahead and put some eyelash mascara. I think it's just called mascara. We're going to put some eyelash mascara on. That's a special kind. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my lower lashes. And I like that L'Oreal palette. I'm not sure why I haven't used it more. Probably just because I have too much other stuff. But it didn't have, you know, a lot of fallout. I like the e.l.f. ones I tried out last week too, but they had a lot of fallout. Like it was all over my face. And then I had to take off my makeup and redo it. And I do have a little bit of fallout here, but it's not bad. Wow, that's loud. I've had my phone for 2 years. I still don't know what all the sounds mean. And to make matters worse, I change it now and then. So now I'm not going to curl these or anything. I'm just going to put a light covering of mascara on to get them to be black. Because I'm going to use a false lash. And if you don't put some mascara on with the kind of lashes that I'm going to use, then the lashes are really black. And my lashes are kind of a blondish brown. And so they're going to look obviously different. And let's see. I said I was going to use these magnetic ones, but I really didn't want to. This is not my magnetic. These are not my favorite kind. Well, I can't say that. I've never tried this kind, but I bet you it's not my favorite kind. I bought these and they've been sitting here for a while waiting for me. Nope, I can't do it. I can't even make myself do it. Just not. I'm going to use my other ones. I'm going to use my Kiss lashes. And I'm not going to do magnetic ones today. I'm going to use glue. And so I have a glue here. It's just a regular clear glue. And then the way I do it so that they don't come off and they're easy is I just paint it on my lid right on my lash line. Now we'll get some other places, but for the most part, you just put it on like you would do if you were applying eyeliner. So I'm going to let that dry and then we'll put some on the lashes themselves. Doesn't take a lot. And you can tell that it's dry when it turns totally clear. And I'm going to grab a little tool that helps me hold on to them. And I'm not even going to trim these. These are huge lashes, by the way. They're really a big lash. It's going to bring the drama. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that glue and I'm actually going to lightly apply a little bit there. And then I'm just going to let that dry. So it's going to work like contact glue. And while that's drying, I'm going to get a drink because I'm about to die. Hopefully I didn't mess up my lipstick. It's doing okay. I might have to tweak it before I'm done though. So once that gets a little bit sticky, then I'm going to be ready to put it on. I'm just going to plunk it in the middle of my lid. Like that. And then I'm going to go in and stick it down. Just like that. Now I'm going to let that dry a little bit more and do the other one. Those are big. Big, big, big. And I may have to apply more mascara if I can see the difference between like where my lashes are and where those lashes are. I might be able to fake it, but if I can't, I'll have to fill it in a little bit with a pen, with a pencil or a pen. Both here. All right, let's get the other lash on. These are really big, pretty ones. And you can wash these and reuse them. And again, I'm just going to add the glue to these. Let it dry for a sec. And then on it's gonna go. And I like to let it get tacky. Let it get tacky, kind of like my makeup today. This is super quick for dramatic makeup, and really if you wanted it to be perfect, you'd want to wait. You want to take your time. Okay, they're on. They're on. Gonna let it dry and fill in that little bitty part that I can see, and I'll show you what I mean. As soon as I find a little pen. Let's see. This is brown. This is black. So there's a little bit of a disconnect when you look at these between where my lashes are and where those lashes are. So it helps if you fill in your lash line at the top as well. To sort of make it look more seamless. And even that did not work. So, and I may just not be able to be a fussy budget about it today, because I don't think it's going to show up. For anybody but me. I'll have to see though. But that's why you put the mascara on. And if you have the disconnect between where the lash ends and where the rest of your eyelid continues toward your nose, then you definitely have to fill that in. So we're gonna need a really fine point marker type pen to do that. And you just line it up and fill it in. Can you see the difference between this one and this one? So we just fill it in. And then it looks more seamless. Like it was meant to be that way. Doesn't have to be thick, it just has to look like one continuous line. Okay. That was relatively easy, and I may have to touch it up with some mascara, but I think it's gonna work for what I'm doing right now. And then I'm gonna clean up with a little bit of concealer, and we're done. We're done. So I'm gonna take my concealer and my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm gonna mix them together just a little bit on the back of my hand. And then, let's see if I can find the right brush I want here. It's hard to see my brush without my glasses. Then we're gonna grab that wig and try them on and see which one looks better. So I'm just gonna stick this in here, swirl it around, grab some on my brush, find a clean spot here, and then put a little bit here. I like to do this because the concealer is just too bright. I just mix it up. Concealer's too thick and it's too bright. So I'm gonna just tap it in where I want it to begin with. Okay, and then I'm gonna come down here. And I think I think that my eye bags are slowly retracting. I've been using that Venus for a little while, but I still look at them like I know you're still there, but I do feel like they're changing a little bit. So I just get it tapped into where I want it, right? I'm gonna go all the way around. So this one's done, then we just have to blend it. And this makes that concealer more like skin instead of just like a thick, heavy concealer. Come out here, and go all the way to my temple with it. Get it cleaned up there. Put a little tiny highlight there. Tiny highlight there. Okay, I can't see the comment. I'm sorry. By the time I figure out that there's a comment there, it's gone. But whatever you said, I will get back to you. I will look here in a minute and see. So my apologies for being blind. All right. And then I'm just gonna blend this. Now when I get up here, this is an everyday, let me get rid of this. This is an everyday trick, is when I get up here, I don't want like a straight line like I did when I was young. I kind of overlap that concealer and that way it softens it up right there. So it softens it up nicely and then everything looks like it's blended and kind of swooped. We want to swoop it. Okay, and then I just pat this into place. And I'm hoping this is not looking like a total mess up close. I'm gonna check. Pretty much got everything where I want. I may have to do a little bit more blush when I get the wig on, but we'll see. Notice that all my little thingies here that I did in the beginning, that all pretty much stayed put. So that is a really cool thing. All right, let me take a look at this. Whoa, no, just kidding. But that, isn't that the way we feel when we look in the mirror sometimes? Like, whoa, what happened? I am gonna have to do some, I'm a little cakey compared to what I would normally be, but I don't know if that's clean. Nope. A little cakier than normal, and showing every pore in my face. Woo. Got a whole big old hag look on here. Wow. That lipstick did not work out at all. Not at all. Okay, looks pretty from distance, right? Okay. All right, so we're gonna try this one. This is the one I picked originally to use today. And I'm gonna grab my brush and just do a quick, I love this silver. If my hair, if I could get it to be this kind of silver, ooh, I would do it. But my hair is not pretty like that. And even my mom, like, she just barely has salt and pepper hair, so. But I love this wig. It was like 25 bucks or something on Amazon. No, I think I bought this locally. We have a wig shop. And I think this was called the Granny. And we're just gonna go flip it right on. And fix it. So it's down a little bit far. I'm loving this wig. I've worn it a couple of times, but I just think it's gorgeous. It's down a little bit far. See, my earrings don't seem so big now. I don't think I'm going to do much to this at all except fluff it up in the back. I'm gonna have to tell my hairdresser, this is what I want for hair. So I'm gonna do that. I'm definitely not a hairstylist. It's a nice soft wig too. Well, I could fart around with the part here all day. Maybe I'll just go a little deeper. See if I can go a little deeper with the part. All right. There it is, girls and boys. Girl and boy. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to see comments. Comments right here. Okay. All right. Girl, you're a living Barbie doll. Marry me, I give you riches. Okay, thank you. Hi, Nora. Hi, McKenna. Hi, Karma. Smyrna Beach, Florida. I'm actually in North Alabama. I'm in the farthest part north that you can get straight up 65. I'm actually on the Ardmore, Alabama, Ardmore, Tennessee state line. So, yep, right here on the state line. I'm not a native, but don't tell anybody, because I want everybody to think I'm from Alabama now. Because I remember before I moved to Alabama, I thought, wow, Alabama, why would you go there? And now, you know, this area is considered number 2 in the nation for places to come live and work. And there's a reason for that. It's a really, really cool community here. So I'm a damn Yankee. I'm the kind that, you know, came and won't leave. But I do remember thinking, wow, why would anybody move to Alabama? And then after living here for like 10 years, I was like, I got it now. So anyway, I can't tell you the secret, but I got it. All right, thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate you all, and I will see you tomorrow in either a short or long video, one of the two, so be watching, okay? All right, take care. Bye.